Hi and welcome to the Shaun Shears show. This is my first live ever podcast and we are behind the songs of mine called A Different World, and the only reason I can tell you about the stories behind my songs is because they are mine. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Shaun Shears, and I suppose what is the selling point behind this podcast is that I'm a songwriter with arthritis and cerebral palsy, so the way I go about writing songs is different to other people. There's a lot of collaboration, there's a lot of apps, there's a lot of technology. Sometimes there's just a bit of imagination and wonder mixed in there too. So I've got 4 EPs on iTunes, I think, something like that, and 2 singles, and this is the second of those singles, A Different World. We're going to discuss today how I wrote this and the process that I went through of writing this. This song actually has taken 3 years to write. 3 years to write. And part of it really came from, the story of it really starts 5 years ago. I was at an open mic night in Guildford, with Vic's open mic nights, Vic Cracknell's open mic nights, and basically I kept going up there doing gigs with iPod backing because I hadn't really found someone to play guitar with me yet that I knew that I was, I could just ring up at the drop of a hat and go, you want to do this gig? Not with too much of a drop of a hat, but a bit of pre-warning, and and feel comfortable around. You want to sort of, when you're doing shows for nothing, and you're just doing them for PRS royalties or nothing, you want to be hanging out with your friends. So I was going to these shows with my best friend, who's my PA, and we were going out to these shows, and we were just going up and down the motorway. And we went to this one night, and I've got this song called Wheelchair Sex, which people know about, and did this song down there, and I did Dylan and Philosophy down there from the EP Wheelchair Sex, Dylan and Philosophy, from Wheelchair Sex to Philosophy, and did a couple of songs down there, come off stage, and this guy got talking to me, lovely wife as well, on Facebook, who I now know, Debbie, is it Debbie? Might be, yeah. If I got your name wrong, I apologise. Anyway, we were talking, and he said, you've got to come to this ukulele group. And his wife played saxophone. She's, good musician. And he said, just bring your harmonicas, just bring anything. But I was like, I can't play ukulele. I got arthritis in my hands, cerebral palsy in my piano, you're going to get 5 keys out of 4 fingers or something like that. Some weird claw-like action going on, but I don't play uke. Don't know if I fit in. So I went along and I downloaded the Gigmic uke app, which I'd say is probably the best uke app out there once you get past the intro of the do menu, and you can select the chords, you can pre-select the chords, and I'd been sent the song sheets. And I thought, why not go along, hook the phone up to a little Bluetooth speaker, strum along, solo along, whatever. Went along to this thing. It was nice enough. But to be honest, sort of came away, apart from the saxophone and a few other things, and the lovely people, I just felt like... there were great songs there, and they were all being played perfectly well on the uke. But for me, I think with ukulele orchestras, you can do a lot more. I think with the instrument, I came away thinking do a lot more than what's being suggested, and they were floating ideas out there. So I haven't been to a serious show. This was just a jam. So I was thinking, it'd be cool to write something that, because I think people get ukulele confused. Or do they just think, it's just an instrument that you strum really fast and get some sort of a groove and you're all right. It's a bit like the harmonica, it's got to be set riffs, and they got to be up front, and they got to be in your face and that. So I sort of came away thinking it'd be cool to write a song with some really, nice sounding chords that I could put to a ukulele group and say, would you mind playing this? And maybe they could, put a different spin on it, or at least, if nothing else, just play the song and everything would be nice. And it's something new that they could play. So I sort of set myself this challenge, and at the time, I just lost a close personal friend of mine, and I thought, well, the ukulele had become quite an everyman instrument, and I was thinking out, how I would like to remember my friend, and a lot of that is through past stories, because, that's what you're left with, and, and sort of, he brought a lot of unique individuals together to form a band that helped me go on to have what I have now, and I'm forever grateful for that. So I ended up finding some chords that I thought went together well on the app, and doing a little demo version, which is on YouTube. It's called Living Legacy, and we tried doing it in the studio with a guitar, and it just came out as people liked it, and it worked really well, and the song itself is still, I think, quite strong, if you put all the elements in place. But for me, I was like, I don't know, this still sort of has a uke feel to it. So basically, put the song out on YouTube. It got quite good views, we did all right for what it was. For a guy in front of an iPhone, just in front of his iPad, playing in front of on an iPhone, it was all right. So anyway, fast forward to lockdown. We're in lockdown, and I've now got a guitarist. I've played, I've done a couple of EPs and everything, and I'm thinking, I really want to do something, but I don't just want to write a song for the sake of writing a song during lockdown. I normally revisit songs, and I do this quite a lot. I revisit songs. I say I put them in the locker, but I revisit them, is what I do. So I put them in the locker and revisit them. So I was going through the App Store, and I downloaded something called Session Band, and basically what it is, it's the same thing in theory as, say, a lot of these guitar apps you get, and a lot of these software apps you get where you select a style of guitar. But with this, you can actually select the chords you want, and the strumming patterns you want, and the length you want them to be, and everything else. And everything else automatically will sync up to it within that style. So that's quite good. So you're not clicking, it's not like you're on, say, Band in a Box or some big you're within the software. Everything is working quite quickly, so there's a quick process to get the idea down. And they had a ukulele app, so I went through the old chords, put the new, changed a few chords here and there. I think I actually put some augmented chords in there too, just give it a little bit of mystery and wonder, and make the ukulele pop a little bit. And it had a cool reggae vibe underneath and occasion, and we're going to hear that in a sec. I wanted to make it 2 minutes long for social media, and I wanted it to be about lockdown, and I wanted it to have a positive message. The positive message about remembering your friend sort of came along, remembering your friend through music. It's sort of the same thing. It's music can be heard from heaven or hell, and I hope you're listening, that kind of vibe. So here is A Different World, and this is what I ended up coming up with. I put it together, took it to the studio with Mike Vaughan. We added some stuff here and there. We made it 2 minutes long. And one thing I was insistent on was that it was the same thing, but just different instruments introduced, so that if you watch it on something like TikTok or something like that, it's short enough to be put on social media. So this was the whole point. I wanted it to be a simple song, a simple message for complicated times. So here it is. A different world, can you hear me? I hope you can, 'cause I say I'm going crazy. The world is so lazy because my friends and family are not here. And I don't mind come rain or shine, 'cause when the music hits there's no more pain in my life. 'Cause there's no need for fear, 'cause music brings us near. In heaven or in hell, a good song can be heard from a different world. A different world. Song can be heard from a different world. A different world. So yeah, that was a different world, and the whole point really behind the way that ended up, I think, was just about right, really, because my friend would have wanted it to have been, a universal message rather than something individual, some sort of, he wouldn't have wanted that sort of credit, he wouldn't have wanted individual credit. He wasn't that kind of person, and I think he knew what tough times was, and we're living in tough times. So for me to be able to have something that I could just put out there on social media and be quite blatant about the situation, and the good thing about the song is it doesn't just have to apply to lockdown. It can apply to whatever you want it to be, and it's kind of sunny and it's kind of nice, and you can listen to it on a sunbed even if you wanted to. But the point is keep persevering with your songs. Don't be afraid to take one idea and change a situation, and don't be afraid to keep things simple. So don't be afraid to just use the same pattern again, and don't be afraid to create a short song. You don't have to have a second verse or loads of lyrics, so don't be afraid to just have a short, simple song. So thank you for bearing with me on this podcast, and I hope to talk to you about my other songs soon. You can download A Different World from Spotify, Google, iTunes, and all good digital stockists, and you can go to my website and buy a limited edition CD called Sketchy, or just the whole back catalogue. That's what it comes under on my website, www.shaunshears.com. I will see you later. Bye.